Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I am giving you a review of Hair. So Hair the Musical is a show I was introduced to back in 2010 when the Broadway cast came over to London and spent like this entire summer in London at the Gielgud Theatre. 2010 was the best year ever. It was the summer of love. And then 2 years ago now, I want to say, a year and a half ago, the Manchester Hope Mills Theatre came up with a production that then transferred to London, and I was able to go see it at the Vaults Theatre, which I think there's a vlog up on my channel of that. And then they announced a UK tour, which I was so excited for, and when I heard it was coming to Sunderland, of course I booked like 4 performances to go and see it. I was like, hey, I can be a hippie, and I was putting flowers in my hair, and I was hoping as well for the interaction and going up on stage to dance, because that is like one of my favourite things about the show. So like I say, I had booked 4 performances. I went on the Monday night, which was press night, and the theatre was pretty dead, guys. I was a bit disappointed how it wasn't full. Like, I could see the top 2 layers of levels of seating in the Empire Theatre were closed off, and it was just dress circle and stalls, but the stalls were probably only about half full of that. Also, unfortunately, on the Monday night the show started over half an hour late because I think they couldn't get the show in time for the show to control the house lights, and the house lights wouldn't go down, so that was interesting. We had a false start where hippies came through the stalls onto the stage and stood in a line in front of us, and then they had to leave, and then the show started again. Luckily they didn't have to come back out, but yeah, that was an interesting first night, and I didn't get in till 1:45 in the morning because of other reasons like public transport being dumbass at the moment. But anyway, back to the show. For those of you who don't know, Dancing on Ice star Jake Quickenden is in this show. He plays Berger, and of course he's the leading man, I guess, so I'm going to talk about him first. He was really good as Berger, actually. I was quite surprised. Like, I never saw him on Dancing on Ice, so I didn't know what to expect, and obviously there really isn't much call for ice skating in Hair. But yeah, he sang really well, he acted really well. However, something for me that didn't work, I just don't think he suited Berger as previously as well as other Bergers I've seen, like Will Swenson with the Broadway cast, and with Andy Coxon, who performed at the Vaults, and Steele Burkhart from the Broadway cast as well, because he was understudying Will. The 3 of those Bergers I'd seen previously had this manic energy, like that we know Berger's a bit of a crazy dude, but it's like, with the previous 3 I've seen, it's unpredictable and you never know what he's going to do or anything, and I found Jake Quickenden to be a bit more held back as Berger, a bit more reserved. He wasn't quite as out there as previous Bergers I've seen, but still a really, really good performance, and I really enjoyed him, and I thought he was very good. And at one point in the first half, he comes out into the audience with some of the other hippies, and because I was sat on the end of row C, he like took my hands and was singing to me, and I was just like, he's actually singing to me. And then he went back on stage, so yeah, he was really good. I also won. Paul Wilkins played Claude, and again I was really impressed by him. I didn't realise he's actually been in Les Mis and a few other things. He's played Marius, both understudy and principal, in like Manila, Singapore, Dubai, as well as the West End. So that's pretty incredible, and like he did really well. His end of Act 1 vocals for his last song was incredible. Like, I was blown away, and I was in tears towards the end of the show as well. Paul, you were brilliant. Another celebrity in the cast is Daisy Wood Davis. You know her from Hollyoaks. I've seen her recently in the last few episodes of Hollyoaks, I think, because my flatmate watches it, so if it's on in the lounge then I end up watching it. I'd seen her in it. Didn't know she could sing, and she's very, very sweet as Sheila, and she's got this beautiful sort of delicate kind of voice, I want to say. She was good. She's not my favourite Sheila, but I enjoyed her, and I thought she was really good as well. Like, all the cast were phenomenal. There's no one I'm going to say was terrible, because nobody was, but I will do a shout out to two who really stood out for me on the night. We've got Aisha Pease, I think it's Aisha or Aisha Pease. She plays Dion, so she kind of opens the show. She sings White Boys, like, wow, oh my god, her voice is so rich and deep and powerful, and I was like, ah! Yeah, incredible. I would love to be her. I'd love to have her talent, and she's been in a couple of things already. She's been in UK tours of Sister Act and Hairspray as cover Dolores, and a Dynamite and a cover for Motor Mouth. She has been in London. She was Sarah in Ragtime at the Pleasance Theatre, so if any of you saw her in Ragtime, please let me know how she was in that. And she was also in Hadestown. She was an understudy Fate and on stage swing. I missed Hadestown, and I'm gutted about that because I didn't realise until it was too late that Reeve Carney and Patrick Page had been in it, and obviously I'd seen them in Spider-Man the Musical on Broadway. So gutted about that. A final cast member I want to give a shout out to who really impressed me as per was Natalie Green, who plays Cassie. And Natalie Green was in it in The Vaults when I saw her, and she's incredible. She's just so amazing. I love her voice. I wanted to be Elphaba in London. Like, Wicked's not a show I'm particularly keen on going back to, but I would go back and see her do Elphaba. She was amazing, like, absolutely loved her. All the cast were brilliant though. Even Marcus Collins was okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the biggest Marcus Collins fan, especially after the little debacle that was the Hairspray UK tour, like the original Hairspray UK tour. No, it was the second, but the good one, you know, the London one. Yeah, I don't really like Marcus Collins. He was alright, you know, I mean, he did what he had to do with his part, but again, all the cast work really hard, and they all work really well together, and they're all so beautiful. And looking at the understudy list as well, I was really impressed to see that Louise Francis, who's an ensemble member, she plays a character called Raven. She's an understudy for Dion, which I would expect. She's also an understudy for Chrissy, but then she's also an understudy for Hood, who's like who's a male part. So that would be really interesting to see her do Hood if, for whatever reason, Marcus Collins, or in fact Spin, who's another guy in the show who understudies Hood, were off. Like, it would just be interesting to see a female Hood. Yeah. Also as well, Laura Sillett. She is another ensemble member who understudies. She understudies Jeannie, Chrissy, and then Dion as well, which is quite interesting because obviously there's the whole white and black thing with White Boys and Black Boys, the song. So for Laura to sing White Boys, yeah, that would be an interesting, like, little scenario. I don't know how they do that. I mean, so yeah. The set is pretty much similar to how it was in The Vaults, with like the hanging strips of colour and stuff. Obviously it's really, really different with it being on a proper stage, whereas in The Vaults it was a small studio space. So the orchestra are on stage in like little huts, and you have to climb up into the little huts and things, and there's grass on the stage and a little dance area for them all, and it's just really bright and colourful and really clever. I love the set design. Like I said, the costumes were spot on, the sound, the mic kept, someone's mic kept crackling every now and again, but from what I've seen on the forums, people are reporting sound issues, and Monday night I did not have any of those issues at all, so I count myself really lucky that I could hear everything. Maybe it's because I was too close, maybe if I'd been sat further back I might have struggled, but yeah, I could understand every word that was going on. Favourite song from the show is quickly becoming one that's not even on the Broadway cast album, which I have on my phone, is That Hippie Life. Natalie Green kickstarts that off pretty much, and she's awesome at it, and all the cast join in, and then all getting to dance on stage at the end with the cast was incredible as well. I was dancing with Bradley Judge, I think it was, and I was stood next to Aisha Pease, and I was just like, ah! And Laura Sillett gave me a hug at the end, which was really cute, and like, thank you. And then, because I think I was one of the last to leave the stage, the guy playing comms was like, thanks for coming, and I'm like, I don't want to go, I'm having a really good time. But yeah, Hair is a fab night out and I recommend you go and see this show, guys. It's currently on at Dartford this week. If this video goes up before then, I'm going to try and get it done. But then it's also going to the Liverpool Empire the 20th to the 25th of May, Portsmouth the 10th of June to the 15th of June, Edinburgh the 17th of June to the 22nd, Oxford the 24th to the 29th, Sheffield the Monday to the 6th of July, Brighton the 8th to the 13th of July, and Milton Keynes the 15th to the 20th of July. So, reading off of there. Yeah, go and see this show, guys. You need to book tickets. I don't feel like it's selling very well, which makes me really sad because, like I said, Monday night it was pretty empty. Tuesday night the show went on, but I had a performance for the Wednesday night and I got a notice like a week before that it had been cancelled, so I was a bit bummed that that was my second time cancelled. And then I was meant to go on the Thursday night, didn't feel well enough to go, so I didn't. And then Friday night I went, and again that got cancelled, and I didn't find out until I got to the theatre that the show was cancelled. That was so bad. And I got asked would I like to exchange for the following day, because Saturday was obviously the last day, and I was like, I can't, I've got friends coming to stay. But as it turns out, the last two performances in Sunderland got cancelled as well because of cast illness. That's the reason they say. And it could be the cast illness. I'm not doubting anyone's like illness, poorliness, because we all get ill, and especially I guess in a touring show it can go like wildfire. But at the same time I am wondering if it's to do with poor ticket sales. My friend Jenna, who's hopefully going to be seeing it in Glasgow, she mentioned how it doesn't look like it's selling very well there either, and I literally feel so sad about that because Hair is an iconic show and they've tried to modernise it as best they can. Like at the beginning of the show that you hear a bit about from Donald Trump, like his voice echoes about making America great again, and then it's something everyone needs to go and see, and not just for the naked scene, like that's only 2-3 seconds really, but it's got some great tunes, great score. The story I guess would put people off, like there isn't much of a storyline there, but it's just an entertaining night out, and yeah, more people need to go and see it, so give it a chance, guys, please. And that was my review of Hair the musical. If you've liked it, give this video a thumbs up, comment down below, hit subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you next time, guys. Peace out.